Governments across the world are busy drawing up the battle plans for the COVID-19 pandemic. China, on the other hand, is using the lockdown induced by the pandemic to unleash a crackdown on pro-democracy activists in Hong Kong. Earlier this month, Beijing arrested 15 leading pro-democracy activists in Hong Kong. The list of detainees included 81-year-old veteran lawyer Martin Lee, known as the father of democracy movement, and media tycoon Jimmy Lai, a fierce critic of the CPC. The activists, most of them now released on bail, were arrested on charges of attending and organizing illegal demonstrations during last year's protests. China will also prosecute a citizen for his alleged involvement in providing funds for meddling in Hong Kong's affairs. Lee Henley Hu Xiang was arrested in November of last year in Guangzhou. His whereabouts are unknown and he has not been in contact since then. These detentions made during the lockdown evoked condemnation from wide quarters. The UN human rights watchdog has said that it has closely followed the arrests and charging of activists and reminded the authorities of their commitment to international law. The UK, US and Australian governments also condemned the arrests, saying that the actions were not in accordance with the provisions of free speech and guaranteed to Hong Kong under the one country, two system formula. China's foreign ministry hit back at these countries, saying these were attempts to whitewash, condone and exonerate the anti-China troublemakers in Hong Kong. Having been unsuccessful in pacifying the pro-democracy protesters last year, China has decided to act tough. In January, the Communist Party's top two officials in Hong Kong were replaced with hardliners who are also reportedly close to President Xi Jinping. Earlier this week, Hong Kong CEO Carrie Lam has made major changes to her cabinet by bringing in 5 new ministers who analysts say are expected to toe the Beijing line.
Yuan 嘅任免係由行政長官提名，由中央人民政府決定嘅。大家都可以想象啦，呢個過程唔係一個幾日嘅過程。
Lam has denied any link between the cabinet reshuffle and the political situation in the region, but experts believe that the outgoing ministers were considered to be soft during the protests and not defending Beijing adequately during the extradition bill fiasco. Pro-democracy activists say all such moves are made with an eye on elections in September, in which the Communist Party of China does not want to see the opposition take a majority of the seats in the Legislative Council, acting as an impediment to its moves in Hong Kong. With the size of gatherings limited to 4 people in Hong Kong due to the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the residents are indoors, which allows Beijing to get away with a lot of moves that would otherwise have faced major protests. However, once the lockdown eases, the simmering tensions might spill over to the streets in a manner that might make the task of containing the second wave of protests extremely tough for the Xi Jinping regime.